So idea behind Venture Fund Sri Lanka is that we have seen a lot of startup related organization in Sri Lanka, especially startups are in a bit of a bubble these days. I still call it a bubble because it's we see a lot of startups, but a lot of people have not really understood what is a startup. They think it's like a fashion, right? You know, they do it for a fashion, but actually startups are, I think you should have come for the last event we had in weekend, and during the open day, the pitch event, Aziz gave a wonderful speech. I think every entrepreneur should have listened to it. He was saying that if you think of climbing Mount Everest, I'm just quoting his word. If you think you are climbing Mountain Everest, that's kids here. Entrepreneurship much bigger challenge than climbing Mount Everest. So that's what he said. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you are into a much bigger challenge. So that's what you should understand. So we started last March, and what Venture Fund Sri Lanka is trying to do is to create this. Entrepreneurs can be at different stages. Like entrepreneurs who want to be entrepreneurs, maybe they're working, they may be students, but they want to be entrepreneurs. So picking those people who really wanted to go there at very grassroots level, and also the people who have started but they don't know what to do after that. For example, you have like a prototype, but you don't know how to market it. So we are picking that people as well. Then you have a product that may be doing well, you launched it, you are getting maybe certain amount of revenue, but then you don't know how to expand it to the next level. Maybe expand it within Sri Lanka, maybe expand it globally. So raise money, fundraise, scale it up. So if you take the startup, there's a what you call it the life cycle. So we are helping startups at the entire life cycle. So that's what we are trying to do. So I don't think we couldn't find that in Sri Lanka. We saw that as a gap. There are people who are funding fundraising people for startups. Those are who are supporting like venture the VC funds or maybe angel investors, and then we find people who are at the very ground level working on, but we didn't see the entire life cycle. Someone who is supporting the entire life cycle. So bit about again Venture Fund Sri Lanka, we are being supported by one of the biggest corporates in Sri Lanka, Eliyas company, so they are our main sponsors. And in addition, we have a lot of people who are supporting us. Daily is our media partner. They have been helping us for the last, almost from the inception of Venture Fund Sri Lanka. And then, of course, last event we had Dialogue came up as the event supporter. And then, of course, we have Sajani. Sajani is Colombo Cooperative supporting one. We have so many events, not just one event. We have so many events, and then also now Segera is supporting us in this event. So what we are trying to do is actually not trying to compete with each other, but we are trying to collaborate. Wherever there we can get support to support Sri Lankan entrepreneurs. And of course, one way that we are looking at is we try to build the best of the best startups in Sri Lanka, not looking at local markets. So of course, you can start as a POC level in Sri Lanka, but we are looking at the products. Not only product, the people who are capable of taking that idea outside Sri Lanka. So our watchword goes as be local but reach global. So that's where we stand. So idea behind Venture Fund Sri Lanka is to find every year the top 10 to 20 startups which can take it up at global scale. So this year, of course, we did a lot of events. We had 2 boot camps, one in Jaffna and one in Colombo. Then we had about few other entrepreneurship caravans. So we go all around Sri Lanka. We went to Pune University, we went to Kerala University, and we are planning to do a few other as well. So looking at this talent, we know that this talent is not only in Colombo. Right? Colombo, if you focus only on Colombo, we can't find that talent. This talent is all around Sri Lanka. So we are looking at that talent and to bring them and support them. So we had an event last week, National Startup Challenge. We called for about 106 applications. Out of that, we got in the best 30 for the event. So we had a 2-day event. So out of that, we selected about 10 startups. So we think that those 10 startups we can take into our next stage, which is probably would be Sri Lanka's first open accelerator program. So that's the plan. And beyond that, of course, we are looking at creating a fund, venture fund. So we are looking at all the stages of startups. So from global side, we have OviBees solutions supporting us, led by OviBees. And and the team you can see is Cami, she's our head of marketing, or doing everything from marketing side. Then Madeline, our global project manager. And then we have a good local team, Sasmini must be we have Sasmini, we have Tisha, we have Indivari, we have all the local team. Remember, local team is mainly women, right? So maybe only myself is, so all are women. So you see more women working on this venture fund Dinasha as well. And then also we have a lot of partners that we are building, that we might have more partners in the future. And yes, talk to almost all the big companies in Sri Lanka. I don't think they have missed anything. So probably we have more partners in the future. So I think that's about venture fund. Anything or we to add? Covers everything, right? Okay. So I'll give the proceedings to Sharon. Sharon is our moderator, so Sharon can take the proceedings from here. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you. Look forward to today. There's 4 wonderful ladies who've been doing a lot of interesting work. And rather than doing it the way we usually do panels, where we talk a whole lot first and then get to your questions, we're going to try and get your questions in the middle. So I'd like you to think about it now. Think about, we'll obviously let these ladies introduce themselves, and then think about, okay, what are the questions that I can ask her? How will her experience help me? So think about that a little bit as we go along. I'd like to introduce our panelists just by name, because they'll be telling us their stories so much better than I can. I'd like to invite them to come sit up front. So we have Yusra Aziz Eliyas, who's founder and owner of PODI Jobs. Sajani Amarasiri, who is S&OP manager for Microsoft and founder of Colombo Cooperative. Dr. Sulochana, who is founder and chairperson of Women in Management. And Sulogini, who is a member of the Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce and is proprietor of Anaran Estate and Farm. So, let's start with Dr. Segera. Sulochana, if you could tell us a bit about what you've been doing, and then we'll go with each of the panelists later.
Hi everyone. So I'll speak soft because my voice is always bass. So if I'm speaking loud, please tell me I'm loud, right? Thank you for the invitation, and I'm so happy that I'm speaking with a lot of young people in the audience, and two panelists are very young, and you also, ma'am. So, a bit about me, coming from a cooperative life to an entrepreneur, which is not, I don't think anyone will call me entrepreneur, because Sri Lankan entrepreneurship has been seen as you have to make something to be an entrepreneur, which was not my case. I actually start Women in Management as a service-oriented organization to, to bring women, because Sri Lanka has more qualified women, but they do give their services to Sri Lanka as entrepreneurship. So starting that in 2009, I got it registered in 2011 because it was rejected 5 times from the Register of Companies because it's Women in Management. They said if it is women, it should be an NGO, it should be a charitable organization. So I asked why it's women, it's charitable. They said yes, because it goes as in those days, just after the war, it's always charitable organized. So I gave a good fight to win that. No, this is not that. This is a business I want to start. So after I got it registered, they say the entrepreneurs are crazy. So I was crazy. I thought, okay, why not I bring something else? Because I didn't want to be that just the owner. I wanted to share my passion. So I got a new clause included in our article saying that it's going to be open for membership also. So it got the membership coming where women got into that, and it was really good that, as we all, I think, as he introduced, it was a small organization which started very low, then saw how women can bring new things to the Lankan economy, and we started two projects, which was that time. One is mentoring the women already on the boards, like they are already on the career path and business level, they have achieved something. And also the women who has never got opportunities. I have traveled everywhere in this country, and now I am traveling South Asia doing the same thing. And giving them an opportunity also to come as entrepreneurs, not just as entrepreneurs, because Sri Lanka has a lot of micro entrepreneurs. As he said, there's no strategy. There's no micro entrepreneurs. One person will come after 3 years become a SME, then a middle, and then you don't get it. But we wanted to change that. Then we brought a global brand. I think it was innovated by me, called Top 50 Women. So that was a brand which came from Sri Lanka, and it went to global now in 5 countries. So women brand came into the Sri Lanka. This is what I did. I would say as an entrepreneur to change that, just making a product and marketing is not this thing. If you have the knowledge, if you know, because I'm not good in sewing or anything, to be honest. I cannot make products, but I have the knowledge. I can always be an entrepreneur to share the knowledge. This is what entrepreneurship was.
Thank you, Sulochana. So as we can see, there's a lot of knowledge there that she's going to share as we go on in the panel. We'll ask a few more questions and see how much more there is. Yusra, what about you? How did you get started?
So my journey started long ago when I quit IT and opted to become a stay-at-home mom, which drove me crazy for a good amount of time. And then I thought, okay, I need to start working or focusing on something to get over it. And I started freelancing myself. And when I looked into the local market, I couldn't find any jobs that women could do from home. I also met lots of moms like myself who had quit other sectors and who had become stay-at-home mothers, and they had like crazy experience and talent, but they just couldn't be there at work at the same time. And so PODI Jobs was born from it, and we started off with just a few moms, and it grew to sign up side-wide, and it's been 3 years now. We've got 2,000 freelancers, and we work on a lot of jobs, and they're all based around the island, so it's not only in the cities, it's in the rural areas as well. And I'm now fondly known as the momtrepreneur. There's a little attendee over there to sort of let you know how I work or how I have to get things done as a mom. And we just recently got acquired by Search Global, and now we're rebranding as Team and moving on to hopefully the global space.
So a lot of exciting things to come there, and she's had quite a journey, especially for those of you who are moms. We'll have a lot of questions from that. Sajani, what about you?
So my journey is it entrepreneurship journey or is that both? Okay. So I started my career in Amazon in Seattle. So I graduated. I went to school in Pittsburgh, and then I graduated. I started at Amazon.com, which was great, and then I started working at Microsoft. I was there for about 4 years, and I just actually this is out of has to be updated my title now, because I left Microsoft as of last month, and to fully focus on building Colombo Cooperative as well as other crazy ideas that I have. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to take 2 years and just try doing that for a bit. So I started, while I was working at Microsoft, I started my first little venture, I call it. It was an e-commerce store based in the US. I would go to LA and buy, it has a fashion district, I would buy wholesale from there, and then I'd come back into Seattle, my second. Everyone is like, where was your warehouse? My warehouse was my second bedroom. It still has some excess stock, FYI, in 1 month. Some nice pieces. And then I started that, and then I saw that I really wanted to do something in Sri Lanka, and whenever I came back, Colombo Cooperative, I'm sure we'll get to the story a bit later, but just wanted to do something here and be involved with all the amazing things that are happening in the Sri Lankan ecosystem, and we started Colombo Cooperative, which is a co-working space, like 5 minutes from here probably, in May 2018, so about 5-6 months ago. And that's the journey so far. So mine has been quite short compared to you guys, and so we'll see how it goes.
So questions to think about if you're looking to make the jump from, say, having a steady job, a full-time job, into being an entrepreneur. Maybe you could ask her about her experiences. Sulogini.
I'm already shivering. I don't know what to tell you. So my story is completely different. I'm from Batik, Eastern province of Sri Lanka at my village, and I'm doing organic and free-range chicken and eggs. I'm supplying to Colombo and the organic market outlets. And how I started it after the war. I had a land, and I heard a lot of people, even small children, were dying of cancer and hormonal imbalance problems, mainly in Eastern province. I just thought why it's happening, and I was talking to few people, and then they said mostly due to chemical-based vegetable and hormone-enhanced chicken. So and then I thought, why don't I start something? And with help of another friend of mine, Prakash, and we invented the chicken feed, and started it was my passion. Started in a small way, and now awareness is coming back. The marketing is very tough. It's a big challenge, and now the awareness is coming back, and I'm doing okay.
Hold on to the mic for a second. I think I'm loud enough.
Yeah, you project well.
Alright. Oh, I get my own. That's nice. So, Sulogini, you said you had some challenges, and they've all said it's not just a clear, straight run. You run into some trouble. We'll look at that in a little while as well. But overall, I'd like to ask each of you again, what does being an entrepreneur mean to you? What was that one moment when you said, oh, I'm not just a person, doing random things and putting it together, I am an entrepreneur now. And what do you think the challenges were, and how are they different from the challenges, say, a man would have? As a female, as a woman, what do you think the different challenges were? Because let's face it, it's different. I mean, even if you want to talk about equality and stuff, that's true, we are equally capable. But the challenges that we face will be different. So, what do you think it was for you?
A lot of people, even supermarket, they want certification, and so there are lots of documentation has to be done. And when you go to the government department, when they see a woman and they, as we said, what is this woman going to do? They don't want support. That is the challenge. Somehow I overcome.
So when did you decide, okay, I'm there, I become an entrepreneur now?
Once I got my certification.
Tell us a bit about the certification.
Sorry?
Tell us a bit about the certification.
Yes, I approached the supermarket in Colombo, and they said it's a new product, and they said we don't want a certificate. And I said, where can I go for certificate? I don't know anyone who is doing this certification. And then they introduced the person, Mr. Chairperson, and I went to school with him. And his team, research organization, they came to my farm and they inspected how we do and all that. And what feed, what we do to my chicken, and it's monitored by livestock doctors. So that's how I got it.
So basically, as she's saying, when you don't know how to get something, always make sure that you ask questions. Someone is out there to help you. What about you, Sajani? How did you find becoming an entrepreneur with the challenges you felt were unique?
Unique challenges. There are times that I've gone to see properties or for an example, like when I first came to look at properties in early this year, around 2018 January, there were times that my husband was there, and whenever my husband and I would go to see the properties, everyone would shake my husband's hand and they would shake my hand. And I was like, I'm the one who's leasing this. And so that pissed me off quite a bit. I mean, and my husband would be like, cool. This is my wife, she's doing cooperative. I mean, that has happened even, it's not just in Sri Lanka though, it happened, I was at a wedding in Seattle last year in May, and I was talking about this idea to some, funding guy, and he kept on talking to my husband as we told about the idea, and my husband would go behind me and try to say, this is her idea, and then it just they wouldn't, think that I'm the one who's doing this. So that has been super frustrating, and I just do not like it. So that was tough. But other than that, generally I have to say, my experience here being a woman entrepreneur has really, it's not been so bad. That I'm so proud to be a Sri Lankan woman and say, I've never had a thing where I can say because I was a woman I was marginalized and had issues. So I think that so far at least, it's been a good track record, and when the Sri Lankan startup entrepreneurs have been super nice in coming back to the country and trying to make connections. So shout out to Segera and there he go. Yeah, so there's a bunch of guys who are in the startup ecosystem that have been super nice, super supportive, and that's been really, I'm the only girl in that WhatsApp thread, in that founders pub thing, and they're always very nice about it. They're like, hey guys, I'm the lady in the team. So that's been nice, and so I hope we continue to do that and support other women who are coming as well. But one thing I would have liked to see is actually more women in the scene and get to know more women that are entrepreneurs and are struggling and everything. So
you have a chance today.
Exactly. So and I think there's a lot that we can learn from each other and that we can help each other grow. So
awesome. Yusra?
Oh well, where do I start with it? Because I entered into a field that no one had, and there was absolutely no research and stuff. PODI job started literally over email. That's how we did it. We didn't run a website because we realized not everyone would get on a website and sign up and stuff, and everybody was on social media. So I said, fine, let's run with Gmail, and that's what we did. And when we did launch it and put it out there, I had lots of mails, especially from the tech sector, the IT sector, come up and say, oh hey, why didn't you ever think of a website? And I said, hey, we thought about it, but we just don't want to go with it. So I had lots of unsolicited advice, and obviously when you're a mom, I think everybody gets this from the auntie network in Colombo, that okay, she's neglected her family, she's not taking care of her husband, she's doing some dodgy internet job. It happens to all of us, right? And so I had to kind of shut down. Sometimes I would ignore, say, this is what exactly I'm doing. And also, it wasn't only me, it was also the freelancers who signed up and did work. Some of them, even their households, they would tell us, don't email bills, or don't email or mail us invoices and stuff, because the people in their houses didn't know that they were doing any kind of work. So, their husbands were supportive, but not the rest of the family. So that sort of thing has happened, and also I didn't call myself an entrepreneur. I still don't see myself right there. People are calling me this, but it's still a really hard struggle every day. Like there's a new issue, and there's something we need to get over every day.
Thank you. Sulochana.
My story will be completely different. So I didn't choose to be an entrepreneur. it was forced on me because I had a good cooperative life, sitting on a very, comfortable position and everything. I was very young when everything fell apart. When I became a single mother, I was 25 years. My son was 4 or 5, my daughter was 3 years. I had, as they say, women has to make choices. So I had only one choice, whether I'm going to be a mother for them or whether I'm, but if I left my job, I will have no way of feeding my kids. And so I have to take that risk of becoming that mother where you don't have a father, you have to be that mother. So I left the job and then I knew that I have to find a way, so I started my own consultancy. At that time, I was being well known by the cooperative field. So it was successful. If people ask me if it was successful, to some extent that you are a young woman, so they want to have you. I was not fat like this, okay? So I was like that. So you have a good figure and all that, so you are invited. I'm telling you the truth. Especially when you are single mother and when you are young. You will know a lot of things about social and about people. You can ask me, I can tell you anything about it, right? So then, if you ask me whether I failed as an entrepreneur, there was no courses or forums like that at my time. I failed. I failed taking loans. I failed taking wrong people into my business. I was cheated, all that. But that was my learning. That was my learning. Being a failure, I started a pharmaceutical, never knew about pharmaceuticals, right? And I still remember my other business partner is here. So he said, oh, there's a paper advertisement, they are looking for pharmaceutical partner. And I said, I don't know anything. He said, no, you just go and apply. So I just applied and they said, you come and bid for it. When I went there, all the males, I was the only female. And then they were asking, how did you get the confirmation? Because my name is Sulochana. They have read it as Sulochana. Where my son is Sulochana. So they couldn't restrict me. So I got the dealership. And the best part is I never knew about the pharmaceutical. And they were actually, he also didn't tell me, they were selling condoms. And I didn't know about that they had flavors. And I was supposed to show first condom to go and sell it to a doctor. And it was in, that baskets we go for marketing our mothers. In that I did my first sale. And till today, it's more than 10 years, the doctor is still a customer. Right? So, it was that's why I said my journey was always fail and learn. Then only I understood. Being a single mother, bringing up 2 kids, my son is now 20, my daughter is now 18. So I have been, because in Sri Lanka you see a successful woman, if you have a good family life, if you have kids, as a good mother. If you are being so successful as an entrepreneur or businesswoman, you still be not good for the family and society. Right? I know it because I came that way. The people who rejected me when I was young, I become now like, role model for them, which I'm happy. This is what I'm giving back to my society. That's why I started, under me I have mentored more than 20,000 women entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka and South Asia. Because I had a story and I know how much I was rejected being an entrepreneur. And I knew the moment I start speaking, and I didn't have soft-spoken voice like you all, so they looked to me as for being attitude. So I learned to sit properly, I learned to eat properly, like to be a lady, but I couldn't be. I tried to be myself, you take it or you leave it. So you come to an extent that you try to be yourself. That is where I think I'm the first lady to take a women-oriented service brand, not to only to the Asia, to Canada, to Australia, now to the England. And I did it. I'm very proud, not because of it. This same society rejected me. Because I didn't do anything wrong. Because the instance you became, if you are a single parent of a man, people feel sorry because he's a man. But if you are a woman, you were wrong. So Entrepreneurship was not my choice, but it was forced on me, but I love it and I'm loving it. Thank you.
You made an excellent that's a really inspiring journey there. What about the three of you? Was there any point where you felt, oh no, everything's fallen apart now? What do I do?
Day. Like probably like 9 a.m. today it was falling apart. But now it's fine.
Yeah, for me it was 10 a.m. 10 a.m. and just everything fell apart.
At least you got a later start. You said you had certain challenges when you were coming up and with your business as well, that you felt like it was failing. How did you overcome this?
Yeah, because I trusted a lot of people, and as she said, people cheated and all that. And when I was approaching the supermarkets, and they said, no, they won't buy your stuff. This is, the new stuff, we expect it to be expensive, and people won't buy you and all that. Those are the channels that I never mind. I just tried, and then I succeeded.
So you have to have a certain amount of confidence in you.
Lots of failure, like her, lots of, I trusted a lot of people, and they cheated.
So I'd like to give you all an opportunity to ask a question at this point. So if there's anyone who has a question, just basically raise your hand. You know how it goes.
Okay, someone has to ask a question.
Yes, someone needs to start things off. Or we can continue with the conversation and we'll let you warm up a little. So, you spoke about failure, but how do you know, okay, when do you stop this and do something else? Or do you just keep going?
How do you know when you stop it? When you fail, where you stop it?
Yes.
That's what you asked. Women want to be perfect. They don't want to fail. The moment they fail, they will challenge it. That's the nature we are from. So as I told you, when you fail, it's like, it's not more than a business, it's your dignity of failing. And that you are giving people who said you are doing wrong, like there you are confirming. So it's not, I didn't stop when I failed. What I did was I actually analyzed and said where I failed. And I found people who can mentor me rather than who can teach me. Because a lot of people will tell you things which without having, because that's how our education system, you are taught, right? They are not mentored. So I found people, I went out of the way. And I really am an outspoken person, so I go and ask, you started it, how did it happen and all that. And sometimes I became a nonsense to people, also to be honest at that time. But I wanted to learn how it happened and how it happened, why it failed. So there were people who mentored me, and that was the why I came up. And I think women should never stop when you fail. If you stop fail, that's what happened in Sri Lankan micro business. 1 year they do it, the moment they make they don't make profit, they think they are failure and they go for another business. I still continue my first business, then the pharmaceutical and this another business. So I started with, that was my learning. But it will. That's my experience. I don't quit from failures.
Okay, so we've heard from two of our panelists now that you have to go out and seek information. You have to actually ask people. So who has been helpful, and what have you read perhaps, and where have you got information for your work?
Okay, so I'm going to be honest here and say, yes, I ran a completely manual system, but I failed. And I failed in the sense that I didn't foresee that my business would grow so fast or that big. And obviously we were dealing with hundreds of email threads, and I had a 2-month team. So the 3 of us were on complete burnout. And it was at times like that, what she said was mentorship. It's very, very important. And it can come from either a friend or a person, or you can just reach out to someone in an entirely different field and get it from it. And that's what I do, sort of, for me to keep up Because I don't get out a lot being a mom. Like I'm full-time in school or working or that's my routine. But I read a lot, and I also follow people on social media and see how they do things. So, I reach out to them and say, hey, you did this. Like, is that viable? Is that something that's interesting for you? Or and you learn from their experiences, or you sit in their shoes and you learn from them. It's very weirdly also the way that we had a acquisition, or that's how it came about, by reaching out and asking. But I think that's important because you can learn from a woman or a man, someone younger to you or someone entirely older to you or a different generation. Like that shouldn't matter, and it's important to just open up those avenues so you absorb all of this in and apply it in a way that matters to you in what you are doing.
So I'll stick with you for the moment. What are some of the things that you read?
It could be, I read you guys one, so it could be, I don't know, takeover, a startup. I mean, very rarely do we see startups that have failed in the media or like people talking about it, but I think we should. But even just day-to-day, even from fellow moms, like even the conversations I have with other moms who want to freelance, I learn something from them, even though they may be, a degree holder, non-degree holder, or, they might drive a tuk-tuk or something like that. Like you learn from them completely, either, business-wise or, through their stories. So that sharing and absorbing is very, very important from anyone.
Sajani?
Mentorship for me has been a key thing, like just career, like corporate career as well as entrepreneurship. Like corporate career, when I joined Microsoft, I was I'm very, very focused on getting a mentor that who I jive with, right? And I think that's very important to note. Also, if anyone is looking for a mentor, like make sure you have, and you can actually have a conversation that is not just about work with this person. I think that is important, because there are times that you just need mentorship, not even about work, but it might be about personal life and how you want to handle a situation and that kind of experience. And actually the person who kind of really started the thought process of my leaving corporate for, even taking a chance on that was also one of my really close mentors. And he said there was another job opportunity that was coming, and I was super excited and went to talk to him about it, and I knew, like, in my head I was like, he's going to be so happy, blah, blah, all of that stuff. And he's like, yeah, that's cool, but what do you really want to do with your life? You're starting Colombo Cooperative. At the time I spoke to him, I had started Colombo Co-op, and he's like, I know, and you sometimes need mentors just to throw you that question so that you kind of think about it differently. Else I would have just gone on my normal path and been super scared to take a risk. And I think it's important that you also have mentors that are like not very reflective of you. And I know a lot of another thing is a lot of women seek women mentorship. And I think it's important, but I also think it's equally important to find men who are going to be your sponsors, because even if you're an entrepreneur or a corporate person, right now the power is with men, and if we can find men who are going to sponsor a fellow woman to also come to their same level and are passionate about equality, I think that is really important as well.
Thank you. Sulogini, who supported you when you were developing your business?
Financially, my husband supported me, and my friends, definitely friends, to start something, they...
You also are a member of the Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce in Sri Lanka. How does that help you? What kind of support do you get from that?
I get a lot of opportunity to meet people, lady like her, and she's really I'm meeting a lot of people, and I'm also trying to teach them, something, why don't you grow something at your vegetable. So I'm meeting a lot of people. That is benefits I get.
Sajani, back to you. What have you found the difference between being an employer and an employee? Because you mentioned that you relatively recently made that switch completely.
It's easier to be an employee. I mean, there's a huge difference, right? Like right now, the fact that I'm responsible for someone's paycheck is just a different level, whereas it was really nice to get a direct deposit to your bank account. That was nice. But I think but as a person, it hasn't changed though. Even as an employee, I was always proactive. I was always starting all the new things to do around the projects to do, the process gaps to do. And I think that part of it hasn't changed. And as an entrepreneur, you still have to do that. You have to still be proactive, you still think 5 steps ahead. All of that. So that hasn't changed. But I think there are times, this is I think the biggest thing. There are times I can switch off when I was an employee. When you're an entrepreneur and you're an employer, you can't really switch off. Like at 4:30 in the morning today, I was thinking about something and I wrote it down. And so I think those are the things. I think not ever switching off is the biggest difference.
You've come from freelancing to being an employer.
She also did corporate.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So. So there you go. For you, what was the main difference? What was the biggest difference? What was the challenge, maybe? Just make that switch.
It was a big switch because I went from corporate to being a full-time mom and then, starting up. So that is a complete switch in itself. Like any day I would still go back to corporate because it's stress-free. Honestly, now looking back, it's stress-free and now being an entrepreneur, you're always like, you have to be on the ball, otherwise you're going to miss something or you're going to miss value or you're going to miss some calculation or something like that. It's quite tough and it's not easy. Sometimes I think a mom's work is harder than actually being an entrepreneur. Like, I have that debate with my husband because I've been there and done both. But I think women work equally double hard at what they're doing. So obviously for women it's a little bit more difficult and stressful, and also we tend to overthink things, which we shouldn't do. Sometimes you need to follow your gut and just go with it instead of weighing the pros and cons, because sometimes that could work, sometimes it could not. But you should also be able to take some risk. That's important.
So Sulochana, what are the kinds of support that women can get in developing their business further?
In Sri Lankan women, they are very skilled, but skill itself will not bring out a business. The awareness of the market, because I'm getting out of Colombo, right? If you look at rural women, everyone gives them the training on how to make this, how to make that. But no one give a training on first learn about the market and do the business. It's like, first you make the baby and getting married. That's what happens. It's LPW right now, and LPW, right? Because you don't manufacture a thing and you look for market. First you do something where the market wants it, and the blue ocean market method is not in Sri Lanka.
That's a mistake I did.
So the blue ocean also not there, because blue ocean is beyond. Because Sri Lankan, we must understand we are a small country, and our main competitors is China and India next to us, where they are mass manufacturers. Small quantity, our manufacturing cost is going up. Then how we can compete it? The only thing we can compete it is being natural, being our own authenticated, and also being that you have your own product. That is only because our quantity is small. Then you have to find your niche market, which is not doing. If you go to rural, some company comes and okay, 10 people you are giving a salon training. 50, and they are on the same lane. Everyone is going to open a salon. So it's not going to work. Entrepreneurship is not something people use for women empowerment. Yes, but you cannot take a woman out of the family and empower the woman and ask to run the family. Entrepreneurship should be a collaborative thing where you find someone, a woman is a good manufacturer, another woman is a good marketer, another woman is a good finance person. Get them collaborate and make a social entrepreneurship so the survival of the business will be there. So this is what I found.
So if people are looking for more information, for example, on that sort of thing, do you know where they can find it?
Right. Yeah, Chamber. So there, you know, in Sri Lanka, there's the divisional secretariat's offices. In there, you have a WDO, Women Development Officer. Every DS office you have it. An Economical Development Officer. So if you go, because there are a lot of funds, if you go, I have been to all the Sri Lankan DS offices. You can see so many machines are there, so many motors. And when I ask why you are not doing, no one comes and asks from us. So you all have people, if you want, and Colombo people never knows that there's a DS office, you can get a lot of funding. And this, you know, for women especially, as interest-free loans are there. No one knows, right? And you have access, but it's like, you know, okay, there's a mother somewhere that no one knows, something like that. So there are people, if you want to be an entrepreneur, first thing, you have to go and ask. We think, no, they have to, the women always want someone to come and help. If you want to get yourself up, you know, as an entrepreneur, go and find ways. Then you can, I think all the DS officers has all the information. The only thing is, no one knows it.
Yusra actually spoke about burnout earlier, and that's an interesting question that I want to come back to. Because there's this whole culture going on that you need to keep working all the time, every day. If you're not working really hard and if you're not exhausted, it's not enough. So how do you balance that with having a family? And obviously you've done that as well, Sulochana, and all of you have managed to somehow find a balance between working with your business and knowing that there's a lot of commitment that you have to give to it, but somehow also not burning out. How do you do that?
Well, for me, it's very important to spend time with my kids. So what I do is, at least on a Sunday, I take the whole day off. Obviously, I'll sneak in like a WhatsApp message or an email, or like I'll check those, but I'll make sure not to do anything on Sunday, or I'll finish it, pull a late night on a Saturday, so I'm entirely free on Sunday. And that's important because that gives you also time to reflect, you know, go get on a trip, go to the beach, do something with someone, or, you know, take someone out, or, you know, just sit and have a coffee with a friend, because that always helps you recharge and it gives you new ideas, and that's important to have that time, as well as time with yourself. Read a book, or, you know, just sort of center yourself, ground yourself for the rest of the week. So that's how I do it. It's not easy, but you've got to make time.
Right. So Sulochana also gave you a lot of information that you may not have heard about where these things are. There's district secretaries.
No, we want to plan a visit, so anybody who wants to join us, please do.
So there you go. You make sure you ask them, because we've been hearing that the key is asking for help. So you have two people who are already going looking for the information, team up, collaborate, and find out more. Now, Sulogini, you actually said that you had trouble marketing your product, right? Did you get help from outside, or did you figure out the strategy yourself? You said now it's better. So when
Yeah, awareness was not there. So I have to go and talk to people, and especially the doctors, and, you know, I approach hospitals, you know, the health departments, and the supermarkets, and then they help, and they were advertising and all that.
So that's more of asking for
Asking everyone, and trying to, you know, I met, I was talking about my product, and, you know, they eat healthy and live long.
That's actually a challenge that women have. They don't like to talk too much about what they're doing or themselves. They don't want to talk themselves up. But that's something that needs to be done. People need to know your mission before they can help you out with it. Now, since we've been talking about asking for help and asking questions, are there any questions in the audience at the moment? Does anyone have any burning topics? Oh, looks like you know it has one.
So Dr. Sulochana, I think you made a really good point about women empowerment is not exactly women entrepreneurship. Something interesting to take back home. The question I wanted to ask you is, Sajani is married, Yusra, you're a mom, and Sulochana, you're a single mom. So something that we also battle is work-life balance. So from your point of view, how do you balance work and life? I mean, it's 3 different lives that I'm doing them. So probably, how does that happen?
There's nothing called work-life balance, to be honest,
It
right?
doesn't exist.
And for me, I had no choice of balancing or anything because I was the only breadwinner. What I did was, my kids understood that I'm alone. And kids understand. The thing is, we don't think that they are intelligent. They are. And I made them independent rather than dependent. And I would say my son is the best breakfast maker till now. That one means my son doesn't do anything. My daughter also cook. But my daughter knows more electrical things than my son. Because we always say, teach your sons to cook. Then why don't you teach your daughters to do some electric work? Why only target on? That's why I said it's not gender, they also gender equality. It's more about gender equity. Right? Gender equality is there. It's gender equity that matters. And I think they became part of the business. Because if Amma grows, mother grows, they grows. So you have to tell them, I'm doing it. Once I was, it's not easy to be a single mom and young. When everything fails, I was very depressed. I have to find a reason why I'm doing it. If you still come to my home, you can see that. I put a slogan. This was told to me by a farmer. And he was one of the educated farmers I saw. Started as a farmer when grade 10, when he was age 10 only, he went to the university. He's now in California University. He told me, when I was very depressed, I didn't go to counselors and all that. I met this farmer and I sat with him and I asked, why I'm doing this? I have not done anything. I'm still young and I'm like suffering. Why is this? He asked me, you find the reason why are you living? And I didn't know why I was living. I didn't know. So I found the reason why I was living. And I put the slogan on my almirah, still it's there. And that was a thing that I realized. And today my daughter's, she's doing her A-levels next year, but she's doing some other work. She's very brave. She makes things to make money because she thinks that she needs money to for her this thing. So she has put a slogan, study hard because you want expensive things. Right? So I always said, why you have put it? Because everyone say bringing up a daughter is more expensive. It's not like bringing up a son. Aya wants only the denim and the t-shirt, while I wants everything. So I realized that, when you make them independent, you can balance your home and work. Right? It's not easy. When you are a mother, you want to ensure that they are having the breakfast, lunch and dinner. You want to ensure they have brushed their teeth. Right? So you want to do it. Let them do it. That's what I learned. That's how I learned. I don't know whether I have balanced or not, but I know I have done something right because now they are big.
Try a slightly different approach in a minute, but before that, I'd like to ask all of our panelists, right? Some of you have come from a tech background, and definitely that's an area that is coming up. How do you think that, the environment is not known to be very friendly to women, but even if you aren't, right, technology, innovation, all of that is not supposed to be very woman friendly. How do you think we could encourage women to get into that area? And do you think there is any difficulty in your experience?
I don't think it's not women friendly. I think technology is friendly towards everyone. But I just think there is, I actually don't know the stats in Sri Lanka, but I know globally there is, there's that there was a gender disparity in the number of women getting tech versus men, and I think that gender disparity has closed a lot over the last few years. I just think there are things that we can do in order to for girls to get into technology much faster. But I think, you know, like these days kids grow up with they're digital friendly, they're digi-savvy, is that the word? I don't know. But then coding is a completely different thing, and I'm just like that. I'm digitally savvy, but I don't know all the technical things. Like even though I didn't work at Microsoft, I didn't have to know that. One thing I can tell you guys is it's not hard to learn. Like when I joined Microsoft, I didn't know what was. I was in the hardware division, so I didn't know what all goes on to create a motherboard and all of these things. I didn't know what a tech supply chain looked like. But you just go with the open mind, saying that you can learn anything, because our minds are programmed in a way that you can really learn anything. And if you go with that mindset, you can learn anything. So I learned how a computer is built, and you have to know those basics in order to have a conversation. So know enough that you can hold your own in a room with engineers or with marketers, and always ask for more. Like I went and sat in the Surface Labs and saw how a device was made, how fabric was cut, all of that stuff. And if you want to go learn it, you could do that. I think, and the other thing is, like, if we can do at a more countrywide level. I know, like, technology, like there was a school I went to in Segera, and we went to go give laptops. But the main feedback, like two things that I did wrong there, was we should never just give technology without having any accountability program, right? And that's one thing I regret. Like there has to be some accountability program that we follow up with them and say how many people are using it, what is it used for. And then the second thing the teacher told me was, in these rural areas, when you suddenly get to grade 10 and you have the option to take IT as a subject, they don't want to take that subject because they are not familiar with it. You can't go from grade 1 to grade 10 and suddenly introduce technology as a thing, as a subject, because their main objective is to get an A in O-level so that they can go to a better school for A-levels, right? So we need to be providing technology at a much younger age so that people can get more comfortable with technology. And because everyone else would choose agriculture or some other subject over technology in order to get an A. So I think those are just the things I would say in general that we have to do.
That was a good point, and I think, like Sulochana said earlier as well, teach your daughters. So it's not just about teaching your sons things that are seen as women's responsibilities, but also teaching your daughters the other one. We have another question, but Yusra has
I'm just going to put it in quick. Mainly tech, why people don't use tech is fear, or ladies, right? In the rural areas, we have people who don't have email accounts, or they're using like an Aya's phone to get in touch with us, or they get the money on the computer to kind of sign them up and stuff. But I think women should also think that, not think that tech is only coding, but tech is also a lot of other things you can, put into your business or put into your day-to-day life. And then if you want to talk about something, reach out and talk about it. If you don't understand something, reach out and ask, and then get over that fear so you can use that as well and incorporate tech in your life.
And we had a question at the back of the room.
Yeah, I have a question. It builds on Dinasha's question. The question is this: he asked about the work-life balance, but I'm going to be a little more specific. How does it affect? I would narrow that down to work-husband balance, because the personally, my perception in Sri Lanka is people think that the husband and wife are married, but the husband is married to his work and the wife is married to kids. in the sense of looking after kids. So once they get married and they have kids, you know, it kind of drifts apart, which causes a lot of social problems and affects the children in a very bad way. So this is common to whether the wife and the husband are corporate entrepreneurs or one is corporate, one is not. So my question, since you are all young, successful entrepreneurs, and all except for doctor who are married, how does the husband deal, or if you were to ask your husbands how they feel about their work, whether he gets neglected, how do you cope with that?
Well, my husband is definitely neglected. But I added work to the mix, right? Because I was taking care of the Sharon solely. But one thing that happened when I started working was we had our issues, we had our fights and stuff. Like, I'm going to be very open about it. One thing that happened was he became independent. He had come from a non-independent background, and then he became independent. For example, like ironing his shirt and stuff, right? He would do it on his own. Of course, that took some time getting used to it, but then now the kids see that and they want to do things by themselves. Like she said, it's very important to be independent. Like even me, being an entrepreneur and running, sometimes, yes, I do seek his advice, but sometimes I do things independently. So I think it's important to have that independence, and yes, it will affect and stuff, but I think he's a grown man, he can take care of himself, right? He can make his own cup of tea. So, you know, we've come over that and we've grown over it, and now that's happening. And what is weirdly happening is the kids are becoming independent themselves and starting to want to do things by themselves, and that is a big relief for me. But then, yeah, you're going to have issues, but I think it changes you as an individual, even for males, because that's not really our culture. And for sometimes it's hard for other people to understand that relationship, and they have issues with it, but you don't. So, you know, that's all part of our Sri Lankan culture. But I think as our men, you know, be more worldly and, you know, read more stories about women and stuff, I think that's going to change little by little. But yeah, you will have your issues. I think as long as you communicate and you sit down at the end of the day and connect and stuff, that should not be an issue.
Can I just answer that as a family counselor, not as a married woman? In Sri Lanka, it's Asian culture. You know, people think love wins after the marriage. Love starts with the marriage. And when you become a man, you are very good. But I want to ask a question. You are the only woman who can raise kids. And she says no. You are the only woman who can cook. She says no. You are the only woman who can wash. No. What a husband is expecting from you is more than that. Where when we were in love, we want to hold hands, hugs, go for movies, having fun. But the moment that I always say that marriage is like a chewing gum. When you get married, the first 3 years, it's so tasty. After that, when you string, it's painful, right? You want to bubble it, you want to paste it somewhere, but you have to add ingredients. And the 30s and 40s is very crucial, because 40s, women hormones goes up, women are more active. Where the men get active from the age of 18, and they get active till they die. Where the community never, this is a close community discussion. We women are not taught about it, right? And then, when the woman wants the husband, he's already gone. I'm telling you the truth. So that is where we have to fight. It's not that woman is married to the children and ignore the husband and ignore my husband is married to the job. They say the women before getting married, they work with. After getting married, they come early. Men, before getting married, they come early. After getting married, they never come home. So you have to understand marriage is something that both parties have to add ingredients of love, passion, and also people who talk sex. That has to be there if you want a man. I'm telling you because I have been knowing that, and it took me time to learn about it. As I did it, I was too late. But I'm happy that because I wanted the young people to understand, till you lose something, you will not know the value of it. Don't ever lose it.
Thank you, Sulochana. That was a very interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Sajani.
So my husband is like my biggest supporter. So it's incredible when I go to him and it's like, I'm thinking about leaving my job, and household income is going to be cut in half, right? And that's not a small thing to think about. But and he was like, if that's what you have to do in order to be on your journey, then let's figure out the finances and let's get that going. So it's those things, I think, and that make you actually love the other person a little more, because you know that they're there for you through thick and thin. And when it comes to work-life balance, it was really interesting because when I first started on the co-op, I was working and then I would come back home around 6 p.m. and Ro and I both would work on Colombo co-op until like 11 p.m. So there was like 2-3 months where we realized we have never spent time together other than with this baby of Colombo co-op. So that's when we were like, no, we have to stop this, because we have to say Friday nights and Saturday nights are no Colombo co-op. It's just you and Ro. So that there are conversations that it just needs, like you said, like both of you to come to a moment and say and realize it, and for you to actually listen to that person. Because I didn't realize it, and Ro is the one who realized it and said, we haven't really gone out for dinner in a while. And then I was like, actually we haven't.
Overworking, right?
Yes, I overwork him a lot. And he's still my tech guy, so he's still working on Colombo co-op stuff as well. But I would actually through the process probably grew closer to him because of the respect that now I have for him, in terms of just having the flexibility. He's there, I'm here, but like next week we are meeting in India, for an example. So there are things that we just have figured out to do. Like I didn't see him for 3 weeks and I met him in New York, and then now I want to see him again after 3 weeks in India, and then for Christmas we'll be together. So not every marriage will look the same either, and you just have to have what will work for two of you.
Okay, Sulogini, very quickly from your perspective, how did it work for you?
I started the business after my daughter went abroad. So my children are big, so I didn't have any problems.
So that's an option too. You can wait until the children grow up and look at it as your second career. But as they said, balance is important, making sure that you make the time. Now, very quickly, what do you see as areas for development in Sri Lanka in the future? Like, if a person is looking to get into entrepreneurship, are there any areas that are going to be growing in the future, as you see it, in maybe the next 5 years?
I will encourage everyone to do some farming at home. So
That's a very ecologically savvy response as well. It's important for sustainability that you actually are able to grow some of your own things and so on. Sajani?
That's a hard one. Because I want to be the person and say, oh, go to AI, machine learning, like blockchain, those are the buzzwords these days. But I don't know in 5 years how much progress we would have made in any of those other than AI, in the other two sectors. So, but if you are becoming an entrepreneur, I would say just see where you're most passionate about, and then passionate as well as, like, don't just do your passion project. I would say passionate, then do your market research, like Dr. Sulochana said, and then also say what's a viable product to go into. And always, I agree with what Dr. Sri Lanka is saying, is Sri Lanka is a great market to do a first MVP or a first model and try it out, get your processes down right, all of that. But always always know what you want to do outside of this market, because the potential of that market is just so much more than what we can do here.
Yeah, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, and even like before you start up, you don't think of going global, but even if it's a product and stuff, shipping is, it's come down. So I think we're going to see a lot of home sellers kind of blossoming out into global startups and stuff. And I think we're going to see a lot of women-based startups come out, but as Dr. said, they need that right education, so that's going to take time, even women and that.
You asked what's the market for women?
What are the opportunities that you see in maybe the next 5 years for Sri Lankan entrepreneurs?
Technology and tourism. When I say tourism, local tourism, because tourists are not coming to here to experience Europe. They are coming to experience Sri Lanka. Give that. There's a huge market and there's a huge need of that, which women are not tapping. If you tap it, you have it.
There, we'll take, okay, so the lady at the back first and then.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Sajani. I'm the founder and the MD of OviBees and Wellness Facility in Malawi. It's a leading gym and wellness center in the country. It's been about a year and 2 months since I started it. And so I was from a medical background. I was very passionate about fitness because it's talked about passion. And I didn't even think it would be so great. And Tisha has come many times to my place and helped me market it. And we have a lot of members, and it's actually helped to develop a city. So that's a little bit about my project. So my question is, for you ladies who have come up in the ladder of success, I would like to ask what difficulties you encountered working with men as young women, especially the single mom, right? Because sometimes I feel like I studied in the States and you're not treated the same way that a woman is treated in the States, right? And so I was involved in this project from the beginning, when in the construction stages, where the masons wouldn't take you seriously because you are a woman, right? Now I manage about 15, 20 people. And sometimes I feel like they do not take me seriously being very open because I'm a young woman, right? So how was it for you guys, or did you guys experience similar things? And how did you encounter, and how did you overcome those and come up in life?
That young woman and not been there, I have been there. So Sri Lanka, if you have grey hair, you are this. So I didn't color my hair for last 10 years because I want to have grey hair to prove I have knowledge, right? Because, maturity is not from the age. Maturity is your experience of failures and your experience of being successful, right? But fortunately or unfortunately, we women want acceptance to feel that they hear us. That's our nature. So we think, I remember when I gave speeches, a lot of people, I did a training at one of the leading state bank. I was doing trainings for social ethicals. So when I went there, I started wearing saris 8 years ago. Till then I was wearing, as I told, I had a figure, but it went for 6. So when I went there, state government banks, you have ladies who are, they are very, they only wear saris. So when I wore a trouser and a coat, and they were like, you are like my daughter coming and teaching her how to eat and sit and all that. So the first 1 hour was so difficult to get the attention. But I did it. I signed up for 4 years. So it's how you deal, because whatever the information you give, you have to give with data and you have to give with a story. The background story should be very hard for people to know she's talking the knowledge. Because they will always confront you. Okay, now tell me what happened. But you have to have that knowledge and you have to have that background, the story to support you. If you have that, now you said you came from States and you there. If you go to a rural and say, I came from, she's from Colombo. She's like me, she doesn't know. Never, it's you have to know who is your audience. To that audience you have to cater. Because every time will be not the same taste. So you have to do that. That's how I got it. Maybe this is my way, maybe you will find your own way.
Yeah, I think you need to be outspoken and say what you have to say. Like, we all know that men, like half of the men want to take women for a ride, right? Like examples, I can't fit my wedding ring on my actual finger. So I wear it on this, but still, other people hit on me and stuff. But this is the thing, my number was on social media, on our page, for these 3 years, right? And I never had a single nuisance call because of the way I handled them. So it's very important to say, if someone says hi, you go, oh hi, and then you go, oh, how are you doing? And then you reply, I'm fine, how are you? So you can be straight to the point and say, look, is this business related? I would appreciate you come up with a question, or I'm sorry, I don't have time to spare for you, even those random messages that you get online and stuff. So like I said, it's how you handle it and what you say, and you got to know your audience and know how to play them. That's important.
I dealt with construction specifically because we did construction in Colombo for a bit, and I was remote doing it too, so I was managing it from Seattle. And then, money speaks. That is probably a great way to handle your just contractors itself. Is like your stuff doesn't get done, don't pay them. Then your stuff gets done and pay them. Like today, someone told me we're waiting for some deliveries, and they're like, "Madam, amata kuna." And I was like, payment taka and then your stuff comes sometime magically. Like it gets done magically. So you just have to know your stance, work with people who, I know it's hard to say who are respectful, but sometimes when you find those good ones, just stick to them even though they're more expensive. But yeah.
Okay, so we've heard from them. There's another question.
This is more of a social question, like how does women entrepreneurship relate to the gender disparity in Sri Lanka, which what Dinasha experiences on. What impact do you think getting more women into entrepreneurship goals will do to mitigate negative aspects of this? And what can men do as a man, what can we do to help this process? That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So research has shown that when women earn money at home, they come back and they invest back in the community. And I think that is probably, I don't know the exact numbers, but that's the biggest thing that you would probably see when women go out there and they make profits and they make money. Number one, it's invested back in the community in terms of family or education for their children. And that in the long term benefits our society as a whole. Second thing, growing up watching your mom work for women that are other than the second generation and generations to come, that's absolutely a different game changer. I saw that with my mom, and I think it's really important to have that with your parents. So my dad, actually in the 90s, is why I tell everyone my dad is the first feminist I've experienced in my life, is because when I was born much later, I was into a complete accident. They don't like me saying this, but I was a complete accident, and then my mom was just starting her business, and my dad was in the travel industry and he used to travel a lot, but he stepped down from his job in order to take care of me so that my mom could be successful in starting her business because she was very early stages. So when you grow up in that kind of environment and you see that they are taking turns, my mom was a breadwinner for some years, and then my dad was a breadwinner, and when dad's business was down, mom was the breadwinner. And I think that is really important, so more women getting into your workplace or more women being entrepreneurs, it just changes the game for the other generations that have come, and then not even for the girls, but also for the boys, right? Because now the boys are looking up at their moms, and they see that their mom achieved something amazing, and I'm sure all your kids are like that. They're looking at you guys and saying and then they will treat their wives the same way. So it's just a multiplier effect that way.
Yeah, like my son who's over there has seen me work, and he's asked to sign up to become a freelancer and do freelance things as he calls it. But being at that age, he knows what an email is, he knows how to use an app, or how to send a WhatsApp message. So that really kind of propels them forward. And sort of like Sajani said, seeing a mom work, also they understand that okay, there's something you can do even remotely or at home, so that really changes their mindset. And then they understand that okay, they understand relationships as well. They're small, but they understand, like she said, that a husband would give in a certain amount of time and energy in looking after them or running his business, and then a mom would do the same. So I think that's the way it's going to change and eventually change our culture, which needs changing. There are lots of women doing lots of things rurally. Sometimes we don't know about it. Sometimes their neighbors don't know about it, but they have to walk for miles to sell their products and stuff. So it's happening, but it's a very slow process, and we need to get back.
You know what to do it is, if you want to help, if it's your sister, your wife, your girlfriend, help them with their business plan. Help them get mentorship. Maybe it's your boss that can help her and make those connections and make those introductions, or maybe it's your friend, right? And go out there and help other aspiring women entrepreneurs or just existing women entrepreneurs, even if they're a colleague at work. Help them progress at the same rate as you will see yourself progress. There was a latest, I love reading these studies, the McKinsey study that just came out in Women at Workplace. There's only 4% in the US, there's only 4% colored women at C-suite level, which is crazy because it's like 60, 70 plus white men there. And I think, obviously there's, from the start of the funnel, there's disparities and everything, but they show that men get to a management level much faster than a woman who would have started with the same qualifications at the same stage. And if that's in the US, where technically it's supposed to be a little bit more progressive, but I don't even know how the stats stack against here. So just help everyone out.
Sulogini, what support would you like to have had from the men around you, and what do you suggest that they do to help women entrepreneurs? What do you suggest that the men do?
It should do.
Because it's not just a woman's business, it involves everyone.
Men should think that women have a lot of potential and don't suppress them, because women are flying aircraft now, so they are very intelligent. So don't think women are kids. Most of them, 90% of women think support them, your wife, mother, sisters.
Thank you. And Sulochana, what do you suggest the systems and what actual things that are there that can be put in place to enable people to support women entrepreneurs?
Yeah, if you go to rural and ask how many women are entrepreneurs, Sri Lanka, if you remember, women-headed households are 23% of Sri Lankan women hold households are 23% women-headed. So they are widows, single, and all that, right? So they are in mid-40s, like that. So they are above the average. They became entrepreneurs because they want to teach their children, or there was no option. If you ask their children, they don't want to be entrepreneurs. So I'm still wondering why we go and asking the people, we are trying to empower old people to become entrepreneurs. Because Colombo, young people want entrepreneurs because they get respect. But rural, entrepreneurship has become as a charity, which is not. So it was my challenge for last 5 years is to give them the attitude attitude that entrepreneurship is a respectable earning way. So they gave me a challenge of giving the first 50 young girls and boys to be entrepreneurs. And from that 50, 18 are now in the global market. So it was a challenge. From 50, 18, I felt for last 5 years it was being good because change the attitude that they are not being given opportunity as a charity. Because they didn't want to be charitable. Saying that the women contribution to Sri Lankan economy from the statistic is 34.8%, it's almost 35%. 3 years ago it's 33.2%. If you ask me, before 2008 we have been in 40s. After the war we got decreased. It decreased because, you know, during the war you had to register whatever you did. So that was statistically available. Now it's not. You said it's 4%. Yes, USA is the lowest women in the top. Because USA women are not, the moment they get kids, they are housewives. But in Sri Lanka and South Asia, no, it's not. But women contribution to economy is taken as a second line. It's not, as you know, the men contribution is taken as a respect. Second is, you have no option. It's like, you know, she's a supportive role. The women role is supportive role. But if you look at the government sector, the women is the highest. There's an issue of gender unbalance because you get more women graduated and more women going to the government sector. So, and when the salaries are low, men doesn't want to go to government sector. So there's an unbalance there, which government is trying to do. But if you look at the private sector, less than 5%, 7% women are in the top management in the board listing. Less than 10% women are in the senior position. But more than 40% women are in the middle management, where they enjoy. We complain that men, no, they enjoy. If you ask, they enjoy. And women always wait someone invite them to sit on the board. So if women change their attitude, there's opportunity. And if mothers change their sons, we will not be talking about women anymore. That's all.
So basically it's a case of support throughout, from your childhood upwards and as a man, and recognizing the potential of the women around you and actively helping them reach it. And we've had an amazing panel discussion. Thank you so much to all our panelists. There's one more question. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll take time for this. A quick question.
Yes, a little bit casual question because we spoke about disadvantages, we spoke about threats for women in business. I just want to ask a very relaxed question. Did any of you experience any advantages?
Being a woman, yes.
No, being a woman in business.
Yes.
Helps to do the business, being the woman.
Yeah. Because when you see a skirt, you get a business done. But I would say like this. As I said, the pharmaceutical, this thing. Right? It was because of I was a woman, I got it. And when you stand on the road, when you are the only woman, I get the first place. Right? And also, when you are a woman, people trust you. And when a woman image goes out, why PR companies get women as PR? Why all the corporate communication has women? Women always, people believe, because man always speaks I, woman always speaks we. So I would say, I love to be born as a woman and I'll be a woman.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, we have good social skills, so we use that to our advantage, and that helps in making sales and closing deals.
I mean, there's lots. I'm trying to see what is a new one to add to it. I think there's also an element of surprise that you could spin on.
Like element of shock.
Yes, you know, like when you're starting to talk numbers, or you know, which shouldn't be a thing, but you know, yeah, to show that it's not just a social. Because yes, we have empathy. Yes, we have better communication skills, all of that. But I think we can, unfortunately, the social circumstances right now also surprise many with some of the data that we might have.
Yeah, what I want to say that you said that they trust women.
This is what I want to also mention, because a lot of conversation, not even in Sri Lanka, in Russia it is the same, in the UK is the same. Women are to empower themselves and to keep that space in business. They're talking about disadvantages. They're talking about context, they're talking about fire. I just think that you should maybe sometime give more beautiful stories out and more encouraging stories out. Then it will be actually playing better role than to like market it as a challenge, but to market it as a beautiful way. This is my opinion as a businesswoman also, because I had more advantages than you had.
That's a lovely positive note to end on, so thank you for that. Now, thank you very much. And I've been told by Sasmini that there are little post-its being handed out. That's because we have a wall being set up downstairs where there is networking. So basically, write what you feel about entrepreneurship, women's entrepreneurship in general, how this session has benefited you. And if you're on social media, which most of you must be, definitely use the hashtag Venture Frontier Lanka and the hashtag Women Entrepreneurship so that they can track, how this has affected you, how they can help you perhaps further. And there's, I believe networking is going to happen as well. I'll hand this over to Sasmini to tell you more about that.
Hi. Before we finish off with everything, before we wrap it up, so thank you so much for taking your time off of your busy days and coming here. I think you guys could have gone home straight away rather than just joining us for a conversation like this. So thank you so much for coming here, being here to support women and to support each other as entrepreneurs. So not just women entrepreneurs, but also all the men in the room here. Because thank you so much for taking off your busy days. And for the panelists, we have, including the moderator Sharon, thank you so much for sharing your experience I learned a lot. I learned a lot about work life, not just about entrepreneurship and how to balance work life, and there were so many things that we were supposed I didn't think would come out, and it actually came up. So it's a very vibrant panel discussion, and I'm glad that I got to talk to you guys and got to know more about all these things. So we have a small token for the panelists. I would like to invite our co-founder, Venture Frontier Lanka, OviBees, to hand over the appreciation tokens to the panelists. So this token is actually from a startup called Segera Private Limited, which took part in our National Startup Challenge. So, and it was also pitched by a lady, a woman entrepreneur, so to encourage them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. And that's some ideas for us. We want to do it nationally. This is just for people. We want to do it nationally, but internationally too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. And Simal, thank you so much for helping us to arrange this today at HomeTree Coworking Space. I hope everyone got their voucher for 3-day pass, everyone. So, Simal, you can take over from here. And we have arranged food downstairs as well. So, as soon as you are done with everything and you guys have gotten your pens and the sticky notes, so what you think about women entrepreneurship, what you think we should do next, if you have any thoughts, just write it down, and we will have a wall there, you can paste it over there. And right after the tour given by Simal in co-working space. So
another event. I'm very passionate about women entrepreneurship, being a woman myself, and yeah, I think the vision behind HomeTree was to bring people together to make change happen, to share our ideas, our inspiration, what we've learned, to help each other make our dreams come true. So yeah, we're doing a shop tour. I can show you around the building. It's not 100% ready yet, but we can show you what's